House settlement, as it is known, and it's the antitrust settlement that will upend college sports and the way it's been run since its inception of the NCAA. Schools can now directly pay players through licensing deals, a concept that goes against the foundation of amateurism and that college sports was built upon. Grant House, former Arizona State swimmer, sued the defendants, the NCAA, and the Big Five athletic conferences. Always those swimmers in court, huh? And we're going to talk about that. Of course, we'll unpack a lot of it over the course of the next several days and weeks. But we go to Amanda Christovich from Front Office Sports, who's been one of our go-tos on this. She's been involved in some of the Monday morning and Monday afternoon, response from the commissioners in the various conferences and other stakeholders. So she's with us now. Amanda, thanks for taking a few minutes. I know it's a busy time for you today in the aftermath of this. For those that, maybe have not been paying that close attention or maybe just got educated with my very bad description of the deal with the House.
Not bad.
What exactly was the lawsuit about, and what does the settlement mean? What, from your perspective, someone who's covered this pretty thoroughly?
Yeah, I think the most important things to know are that this settlement is about the fact that athletes, before 2021, were not allowed to capitalize on the use of their name, image, likeness. That is extended into the present day by what the definition of NIL is. There's an argument that now it should include broadcast rights and other types of revenue that, athletic departments normally weren't sharing. So to settle up the first issue, there is a $2.8 billion, piggy bank, let's say, for athletes to receive back damages if they couldn't capitalize before 2021. Part two of that settlement part two of what I just said is about creating a revenue sharing structure where schools are going to start paying players for the first time in NCAA history. There are other, elements of the settlement that we could get into, but I think the big headline here is that schools starting on July 1st in Division I are going to start paying their players for the first time, in the history of college athletics. And it's a monumental shift. It's, a major change to the ever-dying amateurism model. And, it's going to net athletes $20 million per school. Is going to be the pool that they can, give money from. And that's going to be about like $19 billion, they estimate, of earnings for athletes over the course of the next 10 years in aggregate.
Got Amanda Christovich from Front Office Sports with us on the Patrick Johnson Show. Let me ask you this. When they talk about, where exactly the money will come from, and it could be a payout as much as $20.5 million. I know in the American, every one of the institutions had to commit a minimum of $10 million over a 3-year span. Some will do more. Some will do the bare minimum, apparently, in the conference. But where does the money come from to pay for this?
Well, it depends on, what school you're in, right? There are schools that regularly bring in 9 figures in revenue. And so, they're talking about new revenue streams like, almost like a revenue sharing tax on ticket sales, things of that nature. But there are schools that have this money. There are smaller schools that are saying they're going to have to cut sports or they're going to have to lay folks off, which we've seen, in a few small instances that I don't think are going to be very common because, frankly, they're just not good PR for schools. And then, there's this idea the schools have to get creative. You need to talk about whether or not you're going to allow private equity into your athletic department. That's, some news broke this morning about one fund that, is working with at least 2 unnamed schools. So I think getting creative is the name of the game here, because no athletic department is going to say, probably just have the money, even if they do. They're going to try to solicit donations and try to raise more money like they did with NIL to try to, get to this $20 million.
Oh, we'll get to NIL in just a minute. Don't you worry. We'll get to NIL here in just a second, because you've got a story today on Front Office Sports regarding NFL, NIL, Freudian slip, NIL, and enforcement. What's been the reaction? You've obviously talked to a lot of people in this space, as this has been a part of your beat for the last couple of years, and you've been gracious with us on the radio show here to come on and discuss at various points. What's been the reaction?
Sorry, you cut out for a second. What is the reaction to the settlement in general?
Yeah, what has been the, because you've talked to a lot of people.
Yeah.
As I said, this has been your beat, and you've covered this pretty extensively. So, just from the different perspectives, what are you hearing?
I mean, look, I think there's a sense of cautious optimism in general that folks, are hoping that this will provide a little bit more stability. There are more rules being implemented today. Brett Yormark said on a Zoom call with reporters that, our schools want rules, and we're giving them rules with the House settlement. And if you break the rules, then there are going to be punishments, and that's what everybody wants. I think mostly that's true. The settlement is not a surprise, so I don't think there's like a sense of panic that maybe we wondered if we might see. I'm here at the Athletic Directors Convention, NAFTA, in Orlando, and there doesn't seem to be panic. Folks are talking about what their strategies are. Some schools are diving in, some schools are not diving in at all. Some schools are sort of dipping their toes into revenue sharing and things of that nature. But I think ultimately everyone kind of knew this was coming. I think now, Boise State's athletic director, who I just spoke with, he put it this way, like there's some anxiety about what is going to happen next as a result of the settlement. Are there going to be more lawsuits, things of that nature? That's a concern for them. But the settlement itself wasn't, that big of a surprise. So there almost seems to be like a sense of relief, that it's like, okay, this is what it's going to be. We're going to have to deal with the fallout, the consequences, the next round of lawsuits, but at least we got through this hurdle.
So when you say, and I've heard that on another interview today that was on our station, lawsuits, what exactly, is being foreshadowed as possible lawsuits in this? And does it have anything to do with Title IX necessarily?
It absolutely could have something to do with Title IX. The judge, in her opinion of the settlement, said that athletes are free to sue, to challenge, sue for damages if they lose opportunities due to the roster limits portion of the settlement, if they lose out on potential earnings based on the revenue sharing cap, and they're allowed to sue to challenge, on the grounds of Title IX, that they're not earning an equitable amount of money in revenue sharing and NIL, whatever, any NIL that is involved in the athletic department. So, lawyers are already talking about,
right.
Talking to clients about lawsuits that they're planning to file or they're prepping. I wouldn't be surprised if every major collective in the country is in, look, I don't have this on the record for you, but I can assure you that there are collectives preparing to have to fight out, battle in court if someone, if the clearinghouse that this settlement sets up says that their deals are not, fair market value, which is another component of the settlement. So,
right.
All of these different components of the settlement could be challenged.
Well, we know at the end of the day, it'll be the lawyers, regardless, are the ones only one. Like in life, the only ones making money are the lawyers. So, Amanda Christovich, I know you got to go. I know you're probably waiting in line at Disney. That's what or at Universal, one of the two. No, I know you're down there.
I'm lounging by the pool. 100%.
What is the new component that enforces NIL now? This was part of the settlement as well.
Yes, so this is also part of the settlement, the idea that NIL deals have to be, quote, fair market value and not pay for play. How is this going to be enforced? There's an organization that was just created called the College Sports Commission that is overseen and run by the power conferences, not the NCAA, that is in charge of using. So Deloitte created software that you have to submit your deal to, and if your deal is between you and a booster or a donor or a collective or even a company that has like a strong affiliation with a school, this software will decide whether or not your deal is a disguised pay-for-play or fair market value.
AI? Wait a minute. We're relying on AI and algorithms? Oh, my gosh. Oh, Lord.
Yes.
Jeez.
There is an appeals process with real human beings, a neutral arbitration process, but that is what is going to happen. So now the question is, if your deal gets rejected and you decide to go forward with the deal anyway, who's going to stop you? What kind of punishment are you going to incur?
Yeah.
They haven't said. They don't know. I asked today. They haven't decided, is what Jim Phillips said, the ACC commissioner.
Yeah.
And if you are punished, can you challenge that in court? Are you going to win? That's where we're going next. And, there is not a lot of confidence that this entity is really going to be able to prevent pay-for-play or that it's ultimately going to hold up in court.
Whew. A lot to unpack there. Really
is your head spinning yet?
No, because you've done a great job of explaining this, and that's why we love to have you on, because you're all over this. I know you got to go, but I just want to ask you one more thing about, is this why we saw the rush to get a lot of these NIL deals done prior to this situation? Because as I understand it, those deals are kind of baked in the cake right now. In other words, they're grandfathered in, I guess. These or is that not the case?
That was 100%. That is 100% why all these collectives were, rushing to do deals. 100%. But now there's another question, which is the website for this commission says that you have to start reporting deals on June 7th, which was 2 days ago. The software that you have to report into does not officially open until June 11th. Many people thought that settlement implementation doesn't go into effect until July 1st. So anywhere between June 7th and July 1st, if a deal gets done, is it subject to the clearinghouse? I'm not sure. Nobody is sure. Nobody knows.
Yeah.
And if you do a deal that is not that you don't end up reporting because it's before July 1st, like how would anybody know? Is my next question.
Yeah.
So that's where we're at.
Anything to address anything with the portal, or is that just more of a hot button topic down there?
This settlement does not address the portal at all. The only way to address the portal is through collective bargaining or congressional intervention. Congressional intervention, obviously, is something
they don't want that.
Exactly.
Well,
the NCAA and power conferences. They do.
The conferences want congressional intervention, which Congress doesn't seem like they want to touch it. And
exactly.
Now, I guess yesterday the president was playing golf with Sankey and Notre Dame's AD.
Yes.
Is the word. So, and this was what they were going to talk to him about during the golf. But they don't want what nobody wants is collective bargaining. They can lip service this thing as much as but the NCAA, none of these conferences, none of these coaches want collective bargaining, because then that becomes a real nightmare.
Yes.
Well, yeah, go ahead and finish your thought. I'm sorry to interrupt you. You prompted my reaction with that.
No, I was just going to say, look, collective bargaining is the solution that they use in the pros, but not everyone, but most in the college sports space are too scared to really wade into that, because that really is what kills the amateurism model. So, we're just going to have to see if these quote-unquote guardrails put in place by the House settlement really hold up.
Hey, Amanda, great to have you on the program again. Enjoy your time down there. I know a lot of it will be spent working, but stay cool, stay dry when it rains in the afternoon. And
I'll try. Thank you.
And we'll get you on sometime when you've had a chance to get back and kind of wade through this a little further. It's going to be a fascinating week. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Anytime. Talk to you soon. Bye.
All right. Great to have Amanda Christovich back on. Frontofficesports.com and she's got an article up right now that talks all about the settlement and talks all about this new NIL clearinghouse. Fascinating stuff. All right, let's hit a break. We'll come back. A couple of news and notes and thoughts from the weekend, and then Shane Winkler will join us here in studio, ECU softball coach. Looking forward to having him with us. Patrick Johnson Show here on this Monday on 94.3 The Game.
The team of Flatlands Jessup is working overtime to help ensure that Eastern North Carolinians like you get the health insurance help you need this open enrollment period. New legislation passed meaning more people than ever qualify for affordable coverage. Let us help you today.
Are you ready to tackle those yard and garden projects? Come by East Carolina Tractor and Fleet, your local Coyote dealer, and check out their great selection of residential and commercial Coyote tractors. From zero-turn mowers to compact tractors to skid steer loaders, they've got you covered. Some with 0% financing for qualified buyers. Stop by your hometown Coyote dealer, East Carolina Tractor and Fleet, across from the Pitt County Fairgrounds or online at ectfleet.com. East Carolina Tractor and Fleet. We dig dirt.
The best burgers around. Everyone loves a thick, juicy, and fresh burger. Tiebreakers in Greenville, plus the all-new Tiebreakers in Winterville. Do real burgers better than anybody. So don't just go to any burger-themed restaurant chain. It's time to break the chain and eat local. Tiebreakers, real burgers at its best.
Everybody loves burgers.
Big tax credits are back. Get a 30% tax credit, up to $2,000 off your new Mitsubishi electric heat pump install. Let Comfort Master help you take advantage of the tax credits with a qualifying Mitsubishi electric ducted heat pump or non-ducted Mitsubishi electric mini splits. Mitsubishi electric mini splits are ideal for bonus rooms, garages, or sunrooms. If you need a new HVAC unit, call Comfort Master today.
Call Comfort Master. Call Comfort Master.
You know what the problem is with standard belts? Usually you have to choose between too tight or the opposite, too loose. But with Anson Belt and Buckle, you don't have to choose. We got rid of the holes and instead have a track system designed for micro adjustability. That way you can enjoy a perfect fit every time. Anson Belt and Buckle. Find your perfect fit today.
Healthwise Pharmacy rounds the bases with all of your infusion, retail, compounding, and medical equipment needs. Locally owned and operated by pharmacist Marcy Parker, Healthwise has grown to be your most trusted provider for infusion services. Currently providing in-home or on-site infusions in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia. Visit Healthwise Pharmacy at 615B South Memorial Drive or call 252-295-0059 to speak to a patient service representative to find the option that best suits your needs.
Tired of the 1-800 numbers advertising Medicare products? Flatlands Jessup has 6 offices all throughout Eastern North Carolina. Get face-to-face help from our local award-winning licensed team. Stop by today. Flatlands Jessup, your whole world covered.
We're back to the show.
I missed you. We all missed you. Did you miss him?
This is the Patrick Johnson Show on 94.3 The Game.
All right, so John Gilbert released a statement earlier today on ECUPirates.com. ECU Athletics has been actively preparing for the changes that will take effect July 1st as a result of the House versus NCAA settlement. With Judge Wilkins' official approval of that settlement on Friday, we recognize this is a significant step forward, developing a model that will more accurately reflect the current landscape of college athletics. This is a pivotal moment in our industry, and at ECU, we are confident that we have formulated a sustainable path forward that is best for our institution as we move into an era that includes revenue sharing with student athletes through a licensing agreement, as well as mandated roster limits and scholarship changes for all sports. Our focus remains clear. We are committed to supporting our student athletes with the resources, development opportunities, and facilities they need to grow as leaders and pursue excellence in competition and in life. We will not waver in our commitment to achieve competitive success both on and off the field. Since I've gone this far, let me read the last thing. We are confident Pirate Nation will stand with us during the transformative time. We will take the unified effort to our Pirate Club members, fans, and our entire university community to navigate the new era and ensure a strong, sustainable future for ECU athletics. Now, that sounds to me like their plan is they're going to kind of continue to do that through fundraising. We all know that the money that comes in from the television deal is much more significant than Conference USA or the Sun Belt is certainly not the level of money that they're getting in the ACC, Big 12. It's certainly nowhere near what is being paid out to the SEC and Big 10. So, good time to transition to this. Earlier today, I was hosting Talk of the Town for Henry. We had Tim Reeder on, who is District 9 member of the House, represents Pitt County. Of course, Dr. Reeder, an emergency doctor here in the Greenville community. And we talked about what the House has done with their budget, the North Carolina House, as far as more money for the likes of ECU, Charlotte, Appalachian State from the tax revenues from gambling, online gambling in North Carolina. And the House version, which has matching money to that of UNC and NC State. Now, the Senate version is very different. It has more money for ECU and App and Charlotte, but not as much as North Carolina and North Carolina State are getting. Anyway, so a really interesting answer here. This was Dr. Tim Reeder when we asked him. He's a member of the House about that earlier today.
Development is that we had a lot more tax revenue from sports betting than we anticipated, and that's been able to help fund a lot of different programs across the state. If we increase the tax, it really doesn't affect the consumer. It's just less money that the operators are going to get. And so I think it's not that there's going to be an additional tax on individuals betting. It's going to be the companies don't get to keep as much of that money. When we agreed to this sports betting, we had money going to smaller universities. And now after 2 years, we're saying we need to include NC State and UNC into this pot of money. I don't think that that's something that we necessarily should use this gambling revenue on. I think if Chapel Hill and UNC need additional money, they have ways with which to do it. And I've said this to many people, is UNC's able to spend $50 million on a football coach. To me, that's evidence that they don't need more money from the state of North Carolina. And I don't think that that's a good use of taxpayer dollars for that. I think that there's other needs in the state that we could use that money for. That's going to be a big negotiation between the House and the Senate, because there's a lot of UNC advocates around and in the building. So we'll see how that all plays out.
Yeah. All right, interesting answer there from Tim Reeder. We're going to have Jason Sane on Talk of the Town tomorrow. Of course, we talked to Sane when we were in Tampa about this, since he was the architect of the sports gambling legislation when he was in the House. So we'll get his take on that cut from Reeder today. So, Dom, rack that where Michael could get to it tomorrow, because I want to play that for Jason Sane in the morning on the Talk properties. All right, Dr. Brian Keene, our friend with East Carolina Weight Loss. I'm back with them for the summer season. And if you're frustrated with those trendy weight loss shots, or maybe you've hit a plateau, you can't handle the side effects, or watch pounds creep back after stopping, there is a better way. The program at East Carolina Weight Loss helps thousands of people lose up to 10 to 20% of their body fat in just 8 weeks without those expensive injections or uncomfortable side effects. I dropped 60 pounds with this last year. Got a little sidetracked, put some back on, but we're now back with East Carolina Weight Loss. No exercising is needed, no prepackaged meals, no bars, no shakes, no drugs, no surgery, and, of course, no chance of those risky side effects. The program resets your metabolism and helps you keep weight off for good. Give them a call today, 252-496-3610, 252-496-3610. Schedule a consultation. It's free, no obligation, with East Carolina Weight Loss. All right, we got Shane Winkler, ECU softball coach, in the wings. He'll be here with us in the studio next. But right now, here's Dom Kasulki with the sports update and Pirate Report. Start of the Big Rock going on. Dom with an update on that and more right now.
Thank you, Patrick. Your Pirate Report and sports update starts with Coastal Carolina on to the College World Series for a second time as they sweep fourth-seeded Auburn out of the SEC. North Carolina, many people's dark horse pick to win the entire thing, blew out Arizona on Friday but dropped the next 2 games in Chapel Hill to the Wildcats and are eliminated in the Super Regional round. Duke and Murray State head to a decisive winner-take-all Game 3 today after the Racers smacked the Blue Devils 19-9. The two play tonight at 7 o'clock. UTSA out of the American, eliminated by UCLA in the Super Regionals. Boats are out in the 67th annual Big Rock Blue Marlin tournament getting underway in Morehead City. 272 boats are competing for $6.3 million in prize money. Game time, last year's winner with a 516-pound catch. We'll have coverage all week here on 94.3 The Game. In ECU basketball news, ECU and App State have agreed to a 4-year home-and-home series beginning December 11th, 2025 in Minges Coliseum. That's a big one. The Indiana Pacers and the OKC Thunder fought for a Game 2 victory last night. OKC climbed out in front during the second quarter and this time didn't look back. The Pacers didn't have a comeback in store for them last night as OKC defeated the Pacers 123-107. Game 3 will be Wednesday in Indiana at 8:30. Game 3 of the Stanley Cup tonight at 8 between the Florida Panthers and the Edmonton Oilers. The first 2 games have been insane, both going to overtime. Game 1, the Oilers took in comeback fashion, and Game 2 took 2 overtimes to finish up. Florida finally wins it with 8:05 left in the second overtime with Brad Marchand making the winning shot. Should be a really exciting game tonight. That's it for your sports update and Pirate Report. Let's send it to a quick break before PJ talks with Shane Winkler on 94.3 The Game and The Patrick Johnson Show.
Hey, it's Jim Wells again with Wells Roofing and Gutters here in the beautiful community of Lindale, Bedford. At Wells Roofing and Gutters, we believe in quality first, and that's why we use CertainTeed shingles, which are manufactured in Oxford, North Carolina, a local company. In the event you ever do have a claim or a problem with your roof system, they're local and they come and take care of us in a timely manner. We could leave off some accessories and we could certainly save money, but we believe at Wells Roofing and Gutters in installing the correct way per manufacturer requirements, and we warranty your roof both in-house and also with our supplier, who is CertainTeed. For a job Wells done, no shortcuts taken, and a good quality job on your home, give us a call today, 252-227-8403. We also offer financing, 12 months, no interest, no payments.
This is about you, your family, and the health of all who live in Eastern North Carolina. This is about the transformation of a health system into something more powerful and more human, about creating new ways to treat disease and keep you well. This is about ECU Health, which is to say, it's really all about you. ECU Health. Minds, hearts, purpose.
You have a choice when you invest in insurance, and when you choose First State Insurance Advisors, you're working with people you can trust. Clark Stallings has deep ties in the community. His team, including Keaton Smith, Regina Asby, Phil Leyva, Max Joyner Jr., Max Joyner III, and Ginger Smith, provides knowledgeable and professional advice. First State Insurance Advisors is an independent insurance agency. They offer all types of personal insurance as well as various types for business. Call or email First State Insurance Advisors today. We want to be your trusted choice agency.
Other restaurants claim their food is fresh and fast, but are they friendly? At Moore's, you're treated like family the minute you walk into their doors. With locations in Winterville, New Bern, Swansboro, Morehead City, and Jacksonville. We've been practicing what we preach since 1945. At Moore's, our barbecue is slow cooked and smoked over real wood daily until it's so tender it's falling off the bone. Combined with our fresh chicken, cooked-to-order seafood, and homemade fixins, we're sure you'll agree. If it's not Moore's, it's less.
Back back to the Patrick Johnson Show on 94.3 The Game.
Welcome back. We got a jam-packed show, so let's get started.
Deep breath. Here we go.
All right, great to have Shane Winkler in the studio with us here, as it's already been a noteworthy day on the PJ Show. Coach Winkler with us here. Good to see you,
How we
man.
doing, brother?
How are you?
Great.
I don't think. Well, we just had from Front Office Sports Amanda Christovich with the house coming through. I guess there's an opportunity for more roster spots that would be available within your program if we're just talking about the softball program.
Yeah, I think for us specifically, it won't be more roster spots because I'd rather keep our roster a little smaller. So
Understand.
The softball wise, once the roster limits take shape, you're going to be allowed 25. It's going to be the magic number. We're not going to.
That's too many. It seems like
for me, it's too many. But you have some programs that keep high 20s up to 30.
Right.
I don't want to do that. I mean, it's tough enough for me to keep 22 kids happy.
Right.
So we'll stay kind of in that happy number 20 to 22 to where I've got enough to inter squad when we need to in the fall and if we have some injuries. But I mean, I don't want kids just sitting at the end of the bench.
And you
getting
use
time.
your bench a lot.
We do.
Yeah,
we do.
So what could this mean for your program then?
And we're still going through all the details. We're going to have a head coach meeting soon with John Gilbert administration. So I mean, there could be an opportunity where it helps out scholarship money wise and some different ways for some money. I mean, no one's coming in here getting rich, but I mean, it's going to be some opportunities.
So maybe a little more money towards the scholarship.
Yeah, and we've been taken care of. The resources have been great for our program, especially when comparable with everyone else in the conference anyway. So it sounds like we're going to be in a really good position as an athletic department as a whole. So we'll be still in a spot where we'll get what we need to be competitive in the conference.
None of this addressed anything with the portal. And we talk from everybody from yourself, Mike Swartz, Blake Harrell, whoever, Kim McNeil, any of the coaches. And I can't find one that, I think you do as great a job and have had great success embracing the portal. But the kicker is, as the portal giveth, the portal can taketh. You've experienced a little bit of that in your postseason this year. So, I wonder, for your sport in particular, where now you have the period of time, the portal window, is that a good thing for your sport as far as the amount of time? I mean, what do you think? What changes would you like, I guess, to be made to the getting in the portal window at all?
I mean, the only changes I'd like to see really is the multiple transfers is a lot.
So being able to go somewhere
you're starting
more than one stop.
Yeah, you're starting to see that. And I mean, our commissioner with the conference was with John Gruden this past week, and they talked about the same thing. Maybe limited it to one transfer because you're getting a lot of kids that are bouncing around multiple times.
Well, there'll be basketball games I did this year, and there's players who have played 4 different schools in 4 years.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
And you're starting to see that in softball.
Yeah.
Especially now since there's
There was somebody we had this year that I call it was I think it was at ECU. They had played 3 years, 3 different places, or 4 years.
And you're seeing more and more of it. I mean, as you watch the College World Series just wrapped up this past weekend, now there's bigger paydays to be had at places. Kids are going in for multiple times, and it's tough. It's tough to set up your roster planning on that because I mean we went from a couple of years ago to where you bring in a transfer and they got a golden ticket where their scholarship's what their scholarship is. You're stuck with them on their rosters, and now they got the opportunity to keep bouncing around. So I like you said, we've embraced the portal. It's not going anywhere.
Right.
I like it. We've utilized it to benefit our program, and there's always different reasons why kids are leaving different programs. So I'm all on board with that. It does get tough when kids have the opportunity to leave 2 and 3 times, and it just I don't want to get into the loyalty battle and the things like that everyone attacks the portal. But you do want to see kids stick some things out and grow with the program and have the ability to build a program and not just build a team every year. So it's like you said, it give and take away, but it's tough. But we're going to utilize it to the best of our ability.
It's a quick turnaround. It's a quick turnaround from when the season ends to you're back kind of retaining. How does the portal season or the portal window match up with your high school recruiting? And in your sport, is there a lot of, okay, somebody's committed to us, but now I'm worried that, somebody else could maybe swoop in and grab them? Or does that not happen as much?
It happens a little bit. And last year we actually lost a kid that wasn't signed to us yet. She was verbally committed. We lost her to UNC. So that happens. It doesn't happen as much. So you don't see once kids sign, get taken after their signing day. But the poaching that's going on current rosters before the windows, obviously we had a situation that everyone knows with our baseball program, but that's going on everywhere.
Right.
So I'm not going to sit here and get on my high horse and fight that any time. But we know that's going on. But when you look at the recruiting the young kids and the transfer portal, I mean there's a total overlap.
Yeah.
The portal window opens middle of May and it's open for about a month. So that's going on. Right now, recruiting with the young kids really just started this past weekend. So you're doing a little bit.
So when
of
you
both.
say young kid, Shane, what?
That's the travel ball. So
but what age are we talking?
For us, we're really looking at the 16 under teams more than anything. I mean, there will be some.
So a couple years out.
We'll see a kid 14, 15, but we're looking more their sophomore, junior year of high school is when we start looking at them. We'll see some high school games, but it's mostly their travel ball tournaments just to see the level of competition at a high level to be able to see them. But that's going on the exact same time as talking to all these kids in the portal, and we are going to bring in a big portal class this year. So, I mean, our weekends right now as a coaching staff, we're looking, okay, are we heading out to Kansas City to go recruit, or do we need to bring in kids in the portal? So it's last minute booking for everything we're doing. It's everything's last minute right now.
So you've had some. How many kids would you estimate you've had in out of the portal so far?
And we've brought in 5 visits. We got 3 more coming in this weekend.
Oh,
and
wow.
Like I said, we're going to bring in 7, and we'll never go 7 for 7 because we're aiming pretty high with the kids that we're bringing in. So we'll recruit over the 7 that we need, but we also know that they're talking to a lot of different programs.
Right.
So we'll end up having 10 or 12 visits for sure.
Yeah.
And it could turn into coming in July even more than that.
Right.
Hopefully we're not striking out that much, but
right.
We're bringing in some pretty big names that'll come in and help us out a lot.
With your sport, I think everybody should understand the pitcher at Texas Tech, that NIL, that's the very rare exception right now to the reality.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, she's making over $1 million a year for her 2 years there. That's not happening.
That's the other thing too. It's over. It's still a lot of money, but it's over a span. It's not.
Well, she's $1 million per year because she just.
Oh, she is. Okay, I thought it was $1 million. Okay.
She just re-signed a new deal before the House was passed. So all those backloaded NIL deals, she got that a day or two before House. So she got another $1 million.
How much do you think that'll
play.
change things with this new NIL clearinghouse?
I mean, it's still to be seen because you're going to have a lot of lawsuits once you start trying to limit someone with their market value. Because if someone's willing to pay it, to me, that's your market.
Well, I mean, if you're selling your house,
exactly.
So it's what somebody will pay for it.
If someone's going to pay 5 times what it's worth, then that's what it's worth.
You'll sell it.
Exactly.
Right.
So
exactly.
That's going to come into play when you're talking to every big quarterback that hits the portal that's out there open. I mean, it's going to be interesting trying to navigate the waters with the House settlement over the next few years.
Is it good for softball that Texas, somebody other than Oklahoma, won? I wouldn't say anything's great when Texas is winning because
I'm in the same boat there, but I think it's good and good and bad because everyone's been wanting a new champion, but Oklahoma kept winning and people were tuning in.
Yeah.
I mean, people were tuning in to watch them win.
Right.
People were tuning in to watch them lose.
It's kind of the Connecticut effect in a way.
Exactly the same thing to where it brought attention to the sport.
Right.
I mean, when Oklahoma was winning, that's the first time 2 years ago that we ended up on ABC for the World Series. So it brought a lot of attention to what was going on. So, I mean, them winning 4 straight was a good thing for our sport, but it also showed other programs, same thing like the Connecticut effect that you said, that they got to step their game up.
Right.
And some others did, whether it was Texas Tech going and paying $1 million for the best player in the sport or Texas putting together a full roster. It really helped elevate a lot of programs.
Do you think that, when you look at the amount of resource being put in, do you feel like the league, which has been I'm speaking of the American here, has been a multiple bid league, can stay that way in this kind of current format, this current atmosphere?
Yeah, I do, and we may have to do things differently, and it may be utilizing
because you
the
play a heck of a
transfer portal.
schedule yourself.
Exactly, we're going to continue to, and I would expect the top teams in our league continue to be what they are, and you look at our league, you've got to be top 25 to win it. FAU was this year, USF was right there all season long, so you got to be top 25. So I mean, if you're putting programs there competing near the top 25, you're going to get multiple bids. But I really don't see that changing. The resources for our league are great. The facilities are great. There's plenty of really good athletes to go around. Like I said, you just may have to get more creative on the way you're going out and getting them. And I mean, it may be loading up in the portal. It might be finding a blend of the young travel ball high school kids and utilizing the portal. But I do think there's still that same avenue, that same pathway to get 2, 3, 4 teams in the tournament every year.
Shane Winkler with us here. Let's talk a little bit about the season that was. You hit a lot of home runs, a record for home runs. 2 great young pitchers. One of them decided to explore other options, hit the portal. The other's Taylor Apple. By at least as we sit here right now, is going to be a Pirate next year. Boy, what a really good first 2 years she's had. And not a bad pitcher to kind of build your staff around. When you look at kind of the year that was, I know there were some high hopes. You played a really tough schedule. Seemed like you caught fire at the right time of year near the end of the season. You probably would have liked to have seen a little more of that sooner.
Yeah, no, and we dropped a handful of games that we had no business losing, which is tough, and that would change RPI and everything. I mean, you look at our second game with NC State, we blow a game in the last 2 innings. Game with UNC, we've got a 4-run lead, and then we blow that in the last 2. So I mean, we had a lot of games that we could have turned around, and our overall record could have been. We had a solid overall record. We won 30 plus games again. Had a winning record in conference. So a lot of things that we're really proud of for taking that next step with the program. And we've got a core group that are back that we think we can continue to build on. We're going to add a lot in the transfer portal to what we did, but no, I mean, like you said, going back to starting in the circle, we've got a Taylor Apple that we can build around, and she showed, like in the conference tournament, she can be one of the best pitchers in this league, and her being a junior next year with plenty of experience under her belt is going to put us in a good spot. We'll add a couple pieces around her to complement what she does, and really excited about the kids that we brought in on visits so far, but it's going to put us in a position to where even though we've got to add a lot to the roster, we feel like we can put ourselves in a position to be even better than we were.
I think what you could sell, obviously great facilities, a competitive multi-bid conference. You don't have to win the whole thing to get in. You can earn your way in as an at-large possibly. And, I think the track record. Players that have transferred in that were maybe at places that were considered bigger have come in and been very productive. So that's got to be something that,
No, for sure.
People look, all this money, people still love playing time.
Yeah. I mean, that's a big part of it. I mean, the kids that we brought in the portal in the past, a lot of them were Power 5 kids then. Now obviously Power 4 that didn't see a lot of time, but we can go in and look at either some film from before their college days and be like, yeah, that's just something that we can mold and develop into something special. And that is one of the things with the portal now. We saw it with our own group. If you come in as a freshman and don't see a lot of time right away, it's jump in the portal immediately.
Yeah.
And some of that starts with, if you look at travel ball and softball, you get a lot of bouncing around from team to team, from age 14 to 18, to where it's kind of the norm for those kids to have different uniforms every single season. So you'll see that with a lot of freshmen. There's a lot of incoming sophomores that are in the portal, a lot that we're talking to. So a lot of the younger kids, and then you'll get once in a while a kid that in their last year or two that are in.
Right. All right, we're going to hit a break. When we come back, more with Coach Winkler here on the Patrick Johnson Show, and we'll wrap up the hour right after this.
Your roof is a vital part of protecting your home and family from dangerous storms and hurricanes. At Assist Roofing, we install and maintain metal roofing that provides precise protection. Add value to your home while lowering utility costs with a fortified roof to last a lifetime. With 0% financing, grants, and Energy Star Green Roofing tax credit available. Call us to schedule a free consultation so you can weather any storm with confidence.
Make every day electric on the Kawasaki Electro 20 electric balance bike. Maximize the fun with long run times, impressive top speed, and Kawasaki build quality. Easy adjustability and smooth handling make everyday riding more enjoyable. And the standard MTB type tires provide off-pavement capability. The Kawasaki Electro 20 is the electric balance bike that's built to rip. Go to Ron Ayers Motorsports, Memorial Drive north of the airport, Greenville.
Your confidence makes everything look good. You see the world in vivid color, not black and white. Swing through your neighborhood Fantastic Sam's cut in color. And let our experienced stylists take you from everyday to extraordinary.
Fantastic Sam's hair salons are locally owned and operated. Our full-service salons are conveniently located in Goldsboro, Kinston, Greenville, New Bern, Jacksonville, and Calabash. Stop in today at Fantastic Sam's, where the possibilities are endless.
Acre Station Meat Farm, along with Lane Angus Beef, bring you Farm to Fork Beef.
Stock your freezers now with affordable beef boxes, just in time for the grilling season.
Farm to Fork Beef brings quality local beef to your family. From your traditional butcher shop, Acre Station Meat Farm. Come on down to Acre Station Meat Farm and find out why we're #1 in fresh cuts and friendly service.
Acre Station Meat Farm, Highway 32 North, Pinetown.
If you are interested in living longer and living stronger, Eastern Physical and Lifestyle Medicine is accepting new patients for a limited time. Finding a caring physician can be a challenge. Dr. Billy Smith is board certified in physical medicine and lifestyle medicine and has been practicing in the area for many years. Call for an appointment now to Eastern Physical and Lifestyle Medicine, 252-364-1108 in Greenville. That number again is 252-364-1108.
Looking for a great deal on a new Nissan?
At Greenville Nissan, we've got a great selection of new Nissans for under $30,000.
The stylish Nissan Sentra, offering top-notch fuel economy. The Nissan Altima, known for its comfort and technology.
The Nissan Kicks, the perfect combination with its compact design and performance. The Nissan Versa, delivering incredible value without compromising on features. And don't forget the Nissan Rogue, an award winner for 10 years in a row. Drive it home just for $22 down and $349 a month.
Visit GreenvilleNissan.com today.
Greenville Nissan, where we drive to serve.
And now, the stunning conclusion.
Why is everyone screaming?
On 94.3 The Game.
That would be the one that...
Shane Winkler telling all the truth. No. It's a wild time in college athletics. It really is. I want to ask you about a play. You beat Charlotte in the tournament. You knew this was coming. You know what I was talking about, I should say. I didn't tell you it was coming. What was the explanation to you? Because we're it wasn't like the umpire was mic'd up, so we couldn't get an interpretation. When I'm speaking of the play where the Charlotte player slides off the bag in the tournament, the tag is laid down by Taylor Nichols. The game is over. Your team celebrated. It was a big win. Got you to the semifinals of the conference tournament. And it gets reviewed. There was nothing we didn't. I mean, I understand why the Charlotte coach did it. You're trying to preserve your season, keep it going, that kind of thing. What was determined?
Well, the funny thing heading into the play was their coach was literally asking, like, is there anything I can review? Like, is there anything we can look at?
Right. Can she do that? Could she ask, is there anything?
I mean, technically, when you're going to go review a play, you're going to review the whole play anyway.
Okay.
So that's what they did. She's like, well, yeah, we'll review it. So she wasn't asking for obstruction.
She just wanted the play to be reviewed.
It ended up being obstruction. And what it was, everything clean play. She overslides the bag. Trinity Nichols slaps the tag on. Everyone's celebrating. She's spiking the ball. Both teams line up for the handshake line at the end. So they're already in tears and game's over. So they go back to review it. And anyone that paid attention to the NCAA tournament, their College World Series in softball, obstruction was all over the place.
Right.
And the way that our rule says, if your defender sets up and even a toe is in front of the bag,
should that be revisited?
It absolutely. And they've danced around it for the past 3 years on how to hopefully try to clean it up. And they thought heading into this year, we've got this clean, and it is
far from it.
It's taken away the athlete's opportunity to be athletic.
Yeah. So what was the explanation to you?
Again, just that
letter of the law. Okay.
Letter of the law. Her toe technically
Right.
was in front of the bag, and when going back to review it, unless they had different angles, like it was.
It didn't look like
it was
that was
50-50 if at best.
I didn't think
so,
it was that close. I think it was.
I got a little bit of explanation before I was given the heave-ho,
Right.
and told that I didn't need any more of an explanation.
Right.
But the good thing is, going back to that play, anyone watching the game, I mean, that game could have gone any different ways right after that.
Yeah.
I mean, they got the tying run on third base in that situation with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. So if Taylor Apple doesn't calm herself in order to make a pitch, and our defense put themselves in a position. So really proud of the way our team was able to just compose themselves and get the next out. Because a lot of teams, especially that haven't been there in that situation, that's a game to send you to the semifinals of our conference tournament.
Right, yeah.
I mean, a lot of teams are going to fold there, but
Right.
Our team held it together. And the good thing is that's a couple players really that made the plays there that are going to be back with us next year that have been there, done that, and are ready to take the next step.
So you played baseball kind of your entire life, collegiately, played all the sports in high school, played collegiately baseball, and then you still play.
A little bit, I did.
A little bit. Have you played any games here?
Played one last
it's
week.
Semi-pro? Is that what this
well,
is?
I wouldn't call it semi-pro. We won't. Yeah, it's rec league, men's league. So
okay, all right, baseball.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Okay. How you? I mean, are you still able to go out there? And
I've had a week to get over the soreness.
Oh,
so
that, okay.
I went out and got on the mound for an inning as the closer.
Oh,
my
really?
first game back.
Did you close it out?
We did.
Did it was
unfortunately closing out to be a tie because we're at time limit. It's rec ball, so we got a time limit. But getting out there and getting some at bats and getting on the bump again. It's the first time this summer, and I won't have a lot of opportunities because we're going to be pretty busy putting together our roster. But when I get a chance and our team has a game, I'll sneak over to Wake Forest and get a game in. But it's fun. I haven't been able to hang them up yet. So
okay. Where do you pitch and then play third base?
Usually I play third, yeah.
Okay. You're probably one of the more athletic people in this league, I have to imagine.
Well,
for your age.
I'm the
for
old
your age.
I'm the old guy on the team.
You're
now.
Dorn.
So I am.
You're like Dorn in Major
I'm Dorn.
League.
I am the oldest guy on the roster now.
Okay.
So and they keep backing up the age restriction. So they keep getting younger and younger. I think we're 26 now. So
oh wow.
Yeah, we're getting some guys that are just a couple years out of college and some guys just a couple years out of pro ball. That it's getting tougher and tougher. So we're Yeah, the days are probably numbered now on my days on the field. I don't know if there's any 50 and up leagues that I'm looking to join in the future. So it may be short lived for here now.
We got about 2.5 minutes. This may not. So if you can answer this in sort of a brief way, how did you go from playing baseball to I'm going to coach softball?
Yeah, I had a younger sister that played, and so I was always helping out coaching her team.
Okay.
I had a redshirt year in college that I helped out with her high school team. While I was playing pro ball in the off season, I helped out with the JUCO that she played at. So just kind of stayed connected mostly through her. I knew I was gonna play as long as I could, and then get into coaching. I thought I'd be coaching baseball and having a college baseball coaching career, but once I got the taste of coaching at JUCO and I applied for a couple jobs, ended up at Marshall. Coaching from a softball standpoint, I fell in love with it. The impact that we can make on the game. I'll always be a baseball guy, and there's some baseball things that we'll carry over to our practices, the way we prepare and things like that. But the passion for this sport has been unreal. So I was fortunate just having the opportunity at a younger age coaching my sister. I mean, that's even 15, 16 years old, coaching her 11, 12 and under teams and things like that. So just having that from that age, and just kind of grew from there.
Does she? Where did she play? Like in the field and all that.
She was a third baseman.
Okay.
Played all over the infield. Ton of power.
Okay.
We did. If I knew anything about the recruiting game then that I do now, she probably would end up somewhere bigger than just playing at a JUCO near home, because we were. We grew up our high school just in the cornfields of Indiana, small 1A, so you're not getting seen by many scouts, and so not getting out to camps and things like that. So like I said, if I knew then what I know now, if I would open up some doors for her. But we've got a kid coming in from that county this next year. So just like I said, just knowing the recruiting game now, we got a pitcher coming in from the rival school. I went to both the high schools, so just have the opportunity. If she would have, the same this kid coming in would have opened up some doors for her. But it's exciting to see the way the game has grown.
Yeah, absolutely. Great to see you. Thanks for coming by and doing this. Really
Anytime.
appreciate it.
Anytime.
Great to have Shane Winkler with us here. He's not bad for a White Sox fan. I'll say that. So, all right. Thanks for being with us today. Appreciate it. We'll be back tomorrow. Benny Hardy and I will be hosting Talk of the Town in the morning for Henry, and we'll have the very latest on anything ECU related, but also the latest from the Big Rock, which is going on right now. We ended up not going to have our show at the Big Rock. We thought that was going to be the case tomorrow. So unless something changes last minute, we will not be down in Moorhead. We'll be back here in the studio tomorrow for the Patrick Johnson Show. And Philip will be back. Dom, great job. Thanks to Amanda Christovich as well. Also thanks to Shane Winkler. Again, tomorrow morning, Talk of the Town with Benny Hardy. And then back here on the Patrick Johnson Show, 94.3 The Game and the IBX Media app. Have a great rest of your evening.
Thank you.